We were satisfied that everything she said was absolutely accurate, convinced it just wasn't a made-up story.
Immediately, Cassidy rallied up with Hancock and left the station, followed by a fleet of officers. He took Kate with him and kept questioning her in the car.
I asked her the obvious question, would you identify the house? And she said, oh, I think so, yeah, not that far from here. She was in the back seat, so we drove her past, and she looked at the house and she ducked down and burst into tears.
Once at the scene, Catherine had seemingly vacated the house, so the three officers split up and started knocking on doors, looking for a witness. Ferguson was able to locate Sandy Holloway, the Bernie's neighbor from across the street.
The young girl broke out of this window here in the front and ran down practically, I do believe, with sort of nothing on, ran right down and up the laneway.
That was sufficient information to get a warrant to go and search the place.
Without further notice, the Palmyra police smashed down the door of the house and started searching. Everything Kate had laid out was found: the lipstick under the beanbag, the pack of cigarettes in the attic, and the Rocky cassette tape still in the VCR.
She said that she was given a sleeping pill, which she spat out. That pill was in actual fact found on the floor in the bedroom.
As the police were investigating, Catherine Burney returned to the scene with bags of cleaning supplies in her hands. Once she noticed the officers, she started to run, prompting them into pursuit. Quickly enough, they grabbed her and brought her back to the house.
She wasn't surprised to see us. She was quite aggressive, and she was told that we were making inquiries in relation to a young lady who had been reported to us that she had been abducted and held captive in her house. She denied any knowledge of it. She told us that she lived at that address with a male person by the name of David Burney. David Burney worked at a wreckers yard, and a couple of people were then sent out to speak with him and bring him back to the office.
Now in custody, the couple was separated. David was sent to Perth with Ferguson and Vince, while Catherine stayed with Cassidy and Hancock in Palmyra. As Ferguson interviewed David, he noticed how weak and feeble he behaved, something Superintendent Vince Kadich was quick to latch onto.
And he looked at me, and then he looked up at Vince and he said, "Can I speak to Kathy?" When he said that, I thought that, gee, he's right on the edge. He wanted confirmation from her to be able to go further. Vince, who was standing behind me, looked down at David and said, "Come on, David, come on, how many is there?" And he looked at Vince and he said, "There's 4.